So we are here for our lovely restorative class. If you have any props that you want to bring, a pillow, a couch cushion, a bolster, whatever you may have nearby, you can bring that with you. Maybe a strap or a block is always good too. But I want to make the assumption that maybe everyone has one block or two blocks. So just use what you have. And when we're in a restorative class, we're going to be in there for quite a long time. So these holds, usually in a deep stretch, it's 5 counts of breath, 8 counts, or 10 counts. For restorative, we're in there a lot longer. Sometimes people use minutes. That seems like a lot to me, so we're probably going to be there for maybe 10, 15 to 20 breaths, really depending on the pose and what you need in it. So we'll start on our backs. Again, whatever props you may have handy, keeping them nearby, and laying down on your back. Now, if you do have an Apple Watch, a Fitbit, something to track your fitness and exercise, you may want to have this just to count that you did some movement, but your heart rate really isn't going to get that high today. But if you wanted to count it, because I am always in a competition with my husband, I'm going to count this as my yoga for today. So as you find your way onto your back, bend your knees, connect your feet to the mat. And we're just going to be here for a few rounds of breath. And as we're here on our back, and again, if you are growing a human, maybe you want to go onto your left side and not lay directly on your back. But as we are here in this space, we're going to think about each of our body parts and how they're connecting to our mat. So we'll start with our feet. Maybe on an inhale, you lift your toes up, flexing your feet, maybe the balls of your foot comes up, maybe even balancing on your heels. As you exhale, gently releasing your feet back down to the mat, starting with your pinky toe and letting each and every toe reconnect to the mat. 3 rounds of breath here. Good. When you are ready, think about your belly button connecting to the back of your spine. Pulling your belly button up and in. Feel your lower back flatten against the mat. You can do all of these poses in a chair too, so if you're sitting at a chair, just think of your back, lower back becoming nice and flat, feet connected to the mat. Breathe here. We'll draw attention to our fingertips. Lift your fingertips up to the sky, maybe even a flex of the wrist. So a small stretch of the wrist right here. Breathe here. As you exhale, just as we did with our toes, slowly let the palm reconnect to the mat. Pinky, ring finger, middle finger, index finger, thumb, reconnect, releasing down to the mat. 3 rounds of breath. Begin to draw attention up towards your shoulder blades. Are they coming in? Are they lifted off of the mat? Maybe they're not connected to your chair if you're sitting in a chair. On an exhale, spread your scapula out as if you were spreading it along your mat, taking up each and every space on your mat. So becoming as wide as you possibly can. Breathe here. Good. Maybe that means extending your arms out to the side to take up space. Do whatever you need to feel as if your whole entire upper back is connected to the mat. Again, listen to your body. If this doesn't feel good or if you need to make an adjustment, please feel free to do so. We're here for 2 more rounds of breath. On your next exhale, lift your chin up, expose your throat. Feel the crown of your head connect to the mat. Maybe you close your eyes here. Maybe you just soften your gaze. 3 rounds of breath. And make any adjustments to make yourself feel at ease and comfortable. I know having my chin up this high doesn't always feel nice and easeful to me, so I'll bring it back down. Good. Following your spine, going back down. Feel your scapula connected, palms connected to the mat, belly button pulling up and in, feet connected to the mat. Good. If you have blocks near you, you might want to grab them or any other prop. We're going to do a reclined bound angle, supported. Allow for your feet to come together, knees are wide. Place your blocks. I place mine on the lowest setting, but maybe you want to go for a medium setting or the highest setting, depending on what your hips are feeling like today. Place them under your knees, and this time allow your palms to face up, still taking up space, allowing your scapula and spine to meet the mat. Close your eyes if that feels good. We're here for 10 rounds of breath. Inhale, fill your belly. And exhale, soften. Inhale. And exhale. Keeping your breath nice and steady. Here for 8 more rounds of breath. Big inhale. And exhale, let it go. You're always welcome to stay in whatever pose you want to for as long as you want to. But I'll offer next a supine twist. So bring your blocks away from you. Maybe place one block on your left knee. Draw your right knee closer to the left knee. Maybe keep that space. And if it doesn't feel good, you can always remove your block. Make a nice little pillow for your head if that feels good to you. And find comfort here with your knees stacked before we'll add in the upper torso. Good. When you're ready, reconnect your scapula to the mat or your upper back. Extend your arms out to the side, palms face down. And I'm going to add a block at my ankles too. They feel like they need a little bit of support. So in a restorative class, we should be able to rest and release. Not do too many aggressive movements or struggling poses, but find where you can allow the resistance to melt away. And just easily breathe in and out. We'll be here for 10 more rounds of breath. We're about at that halfway point, so if you want to make any adjustments, maybe you remove a prop if that feels good to you. Readjust. Inhale, fill your belly. And exhale, release, let it go. Begin to think about transitioning out of this. Maybe that's simply bringing your knees back up to center, reconnecting your feet to the mat. Maybe that's releasing your blocks, finding some space for yourself without them. And take a minute here. Good, we'll find our way to broken bridge. So knees come together, feet are wide, palms extend out to the side and face up. Press your upper back into the mat, belly button pulls into the spine, lower back connects to the mat. Eyes can be closed or gaze is softened. We're here for 10 rounds of breath. Setting yourself up for a supine twist in the other direction. I'll change my direction so you can easily see. But just think of your knees connecting. Maybe that block is in between. Maybe adding another block at your ankles. And we curl over first, just starting here. Good, stay right here. I feel like this is great. This feels very restful to me. If you want to make it more of a supine twist, extend your arms out to the side, release your upper back to the mat, and breathe here. We're about that halfway point, making any adjustments that you need so you can rest in your supine twist. When you're ready, you begin to transition out of this, moving your props off to the side. Reconnect your lower back to the mat. Broken bridge. Knees connect, feet are wide. Hands come to your belly. Inhale. And exhale. think about transitioning to child's pose. So what will you need to find comfort there in child's pose? If you are sitting on a chair and want to stay at the chair, just think of extending your arms forward, maybe over your desk. If you are on your mat, think of your big toes connecting. Feet are nice and wide. If you have a blanket, a bolster, a couch cushion, a big pillow from your bed, whatever you have nearby, I'm going to use my blocks and release my torso over my blocks. My head will have a space to rest. And know that you can make any position that you need to make to find comfort here. So in child's pose, we're worried about lengthening of our spine. Maybe your fingertips walk forward. We're not worried about our hips connecting to our heels. That is not the benefit of the pose. Find length in your spine. Find fullness in your breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. When you are ready, begin to think about transitioning out of child's pose. Finding your way back to an easy seat. And this time, bring the soles of your feet together. Good. Come back to your blocks if you'd like to find the support. And maybe your heels aren't really close to your body. Maybe you're going to extend them out a little bit, making a little bit of space. If it feels good to you, hinge from your hips, release over. Maybe just allow your forearms to connect to your legs and release over. Breathe here. When you are ready, tuck your chin, slowly come up, extending your legs in front of you. Good. We have about 2 more poses before we're going to find Shavasana. And again, as you think of finding Shavasana before we get there, think of all the different ways you can find rest. Maybe your Shavasana is going to look different than it usually looks in each class. We're not quite there yet, so let's find our way back onto our backs. Bring your knees close to your heart. Maybe that's a gentle rock from side to side. Maybe that's finding stillness. But as we reconnect our back to the mat, take yourself back to the beginning of class and that exercise of how we intentionally connected our body to the mat. Breathe here. And as we start to find stillness, Happy Baby is there for you if you'd like. And if you're like, nope, I am ready to find my version of Shavasana, go for it. So for Happy Baby, maybe you connect to your big toes and think of your knees coming toward your armpits. Maybe grab onto the outer edges of your feet. Whatever feels good for you today, start to rock from side to side. We can play in restorative yoga class. We just usually wait till the end to add this in. Taking some time. Sometimes I like to catch a little air, hang on one side, find that little pause and stillness, and slowly come back over. Good, I just think of my lower back, maybe squishing a watermelon, slowly squishing something and allowing myself to come to the other side. And as you start to find stillness, think about what Shavasana looks like for you today. We did some pretty restorative poses in the beginning of class, so you can use one of those for Shavasana. Maybe it's your feet connected and knees are up. Maybe it's a supported bound angle. Maybe it's a supine twist with a block in between your knees and ankle. Or maybe you decide to rest on your back. Whatever you choose, begin to transition to your version of Shavasana for today. We'll meet there in just a few rounds of breath. So maybe you'd like to go get a blanket or a pillow, really allowing yourself to find rest here. And yes, that is Baby Yoda on my shirt. And as you begin to find what Shavasana looks like for you today, I'm going to make sure that we have some really lovely music to allow us to sit and rest. Good. And as you find to your version of Shavasana today, we'll take 3 cleansing breaths. Inhale, fill your belly. And exhale, let it go. 1. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. To find your way to Shavasana. We'll be here for 3 minutes. I've set a timer, so don't worry about it. Just allow yourself to rest. Begin to bring awareness back to your breath. Bring awareness to your fingertips and to your toes. If you have the space, an awesome gentle stretch, extending your arms over your head. Good. If it feels good to you, curl your knees into your chest, roll to your left side. Good. As you take one last big inhale here, exhale, let it go. Coming back up to center, finding your easy seat. Palms can face up. Eyes can be closed or gaze is soft. Breathe here. Good. When you are ready, bring your hands towards heart center. Thanking yourself for taking what you needed today, for having that reset for the week. Allowing yourself to rest. Bring the love from your heart up towards the space in between your eyes. The light within me shines within you. We bow and say thank you. Thank you all so much. Have a great week.